Hello everyone, and welcome to the Climate Ambassador podcast. Today we are talking about flooding in Belgium, the impact of climate change, and why young people should care about climate resilience. My name is Luca, a project manager of EucA, and with me today we have Alessia.
Hello, I'm Alessia and I'm project coordinator at EucA.
And also with us we have our student Fiorella, who has some question about severe floods that affected Belgium in July 2021. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello, my name is Fiorella. I study a Master of International Affairs at the Hertie School in Berlin, and I would like to ask you a few questions.
Great, let's get started. What's your first question?
How does climate change influence flooding events in Europe and in Belgium?
Climate change is making heavy rainfall more frequent and more intense indeed. As temperature rises, the atmosphere can hold more moisture, and this means that when it rains, larger amounts of water can fall in a very short period of time. In Belgium, this increases the risk of flooding, especially in cities when many surfaces are covered by roads, buildings, and concrete. Water cannot easily soak into the ground, so it quickly accumulates and can overwhelm drainage systems. The July 2021 floods showed how vulnerable some areas are to extreme rainfall.
Why is it important for young people to learn about flood risk and climate resilience?
It is important because young people will experience the long-term impact of climate change. We saw this also with the floods in Belgium in 2021. So understanding flood risk help people know how to stay safe and how to prepare for extreme weather events. Climate resilience means being able to prepare for climate challenges, respond to them, and recover from them. Young people can help their local community and become more resilient by learning about these issues, sharing information, and supporting sustainable solutions. Education, we know very well at EucA because we're working in European and affairs and the student affairs. Education is one of the best tools that we have for reducing future risks.
What were the main causes of the severe floods in Belgium in July 2021?
Yes, the main cause was extremely heavy rainfall that fell between the 14th and the 16th of July 2021. In Brussels, that month was the wettest month recorded since 1980, with more than twice the normal amount of rainfall. Another cause was, of course, the large amount of sealed surfaces in urban areas. Rainwater could not easily enter the ground and instead flowed rapidly into the streets and drainage systems. In some areas, the drainage reached its maximum capacity, leading to flooding of streets, basements, and underground garage.
What lessons were learned from the 2021 floods, and what changes are being made to prevent similar disasters in the future?
Well, one of the biggest lessons was that existing flood protection systems are not always enough for this kind of extreme weather events. Authorities are now focusing more on climate adaptation, and this includes improving water management systems, increasing water storage capacity, and creating more green spaces that can absorb the rainwater and strengthen early warning systems. This is also a stronger focus on making cities more resilient to future floods.
Do you think climate change is making extreme rainfall and flooding more common in Belgium? Why?
Yes, evidence suggests that climate change is increasing extreme rainfall events. A warmer atmosphere can hold more water vapor, which can lead to heavier rainfall. Scientists have found that climate change has increased the probability and intensity of extreme rainfall events in Western Europe. While climate change, of course, is not the only factor, it is making conditions more favorable for intense rainfall and flooding. This is why normally adaptation and preparedness are becoming increasingly important. Thank you for your great question. Of course, understanding flood risk and climate resilience is an important step towards building safer and more sustainable communities.
Thank you to everyone listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Climate Ambassadors podcast. See you next time.